This is Chris Bedales. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bedales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Crown Jewel 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Crown Jewel. Now we kick off the show with Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 1-on-1. And Bobby Lashley looks like he was playing this match as the heel, and he came out as the heel. So yeah, here we go, discussing about it now. Bobby Lashley already made his entrance down to the ring, and then he was waiting for Brock Lesnar. Lesnar comes out, and while Lesnar was walking around the ring, Lashley gets out the ring, runs him into the steel steps, and then, he injured Lesnar's leg. So yeah, Lesnar was going into this match with a hurt leg. So after he got ran into the steps, Lashley then spears him at one point outside the ring, throws him into the ring. The match finally starts, and then we see Lesnar hit another spear onto Lashley. Lashley rolls out the ring, and then Lashley spears Lesnar through the barricade. Tries to throw him back into the ring, but Lesnar's selling that hurt leg, and then he finally got thrown back into the ring. Gets hit with another spear, the fourth one again in this match, and then gets pinned, but Lesnar barely kicking out at 2 right there. They was going back and forth. Lesnar started hitting some German suplex onto Lashley, because Lashley was trying to, lock on the hurt lock, but he fought all that and they hit the German suplex. He hit an F5 at one point. He goes for the pin, but Lashley barely kicking out at 2. Both of them still going at it for a little bit. Go back outside the ring, comes back in. Lashley then hits another spear and then locks on the hurt lock at one point. It looks like Lesnar was going to lose this match because he told the referee that he's not going to tap out. He's going to try to fight out of it. And then while he's still locked in the submission, it looks like he was going to pass out. He starts passing out. He drops down to one knee. The referee checks on him, grabs his hand, drops it down 2 times, and he was about to drop it down for the 3rd time, but Lesnar was still fighting back. Lesnar then finally gets to the ropes, kicks off the turnbuckles into a pin, pinning Lashley for the 3 count. So yeah, Brock Lesnar defeated Bobby Lashley tonight in the 1-on-1 match. Now, I did say that in my predictions that Brock Lesnar was going to be the one winning this match, but I didn't know it was going to be in that way. Which is pretty good. Just like Lesnar was just vulnerable in this match, and yeah. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, pretty good match between those two guys. It looks like the feud is going to be continuing because after the match ended, we seen Bobby Lashley locking on hurt lock again onto Brock Lesnar after the match ended. So yeah, that's what happened there. It looks like Bobby Lashley's probably going to go heel, which is a good thing. I like him as a heel better. But yeah, that's what happened there. But for that match, what happened after the match, I'll give it all 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it pretty good stuff. But up next, we'll be seeing Io Sky and Dakota Kai Damage Control versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss. Up next for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. That match will be happening up next. So yeah, many more matches still to come. Later on tonight, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The WWE Tag Team Championships will be defended later on tonight. And yeah, just many more matches still to come later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on WWE Crown Jewel. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Crown Jewel, now we have the next match of the night. It was the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Alexa Bliss and Asuka, versus Dakota Kai and Io Sky Damage Control in the tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Now we see Dakota Kai and Io Sky make their entrance down to the ring. But before Alexa Bliss and Asuka made their entrance down to the ring, they got interviewed backstage. And while they was having an interview talking about how they're going to beat Damage Control again for the 2nd time tonight, just like how they beat them on Raw, all of a sudden we see Bray Wyatt's Wyatt 6 logo or whatever pop up on the TV, and Alexa Bliss stared at it, pretty much, playing off of it because she got history with Bray Wyatt. But yeah, But yep, that's what happened there. And then we get to the match. The match starts. It was going back and forth. It was going pretty good. The fans was into it and everything, chanting "This is awesome" and stuff like that. At one moment, you had the big move when we see Alexa Bliss getting hit with a double suplex with Asuka hitting a double powerbomb onto Damage Control at the same time. At one point, we see, and then we see Asuka and Io Sky going at it outside of the ring. Alexa Bliss was trying to hit Twisted Bliss at one point onto Dakota Kai, but Dakota Kai put her knees up and stuff, and Alexa Bliss lands on her knees. But then, while Io Sky and Asuka was going at it outside the ring, Io Sky kicked Asuka in the face, tried to hit the moonsault onto her off the second rope, but Asuka moves out of the way, and then Asuka grabs her and hits her in the face with a knee, and they kept on going at it and stuff outside the ring. And then we see Alexa Bliss hit the DDT onto Dakota Kai, and then climbs up the top turnbuckle, setting up for Twisted Bliss. But then all of a sudden, Io Sky and Asuka was brawling, and they brought it into the ring, going at it and stuff, and the referee's trying to get them to stop and stuff. So yeah, the referee was distracted by them going at it and trying to get Asuka and Io Sky out of the ring. But while that was happening, Alexa Bliss was on the top turnbuckle, distracted by that, and then we see Nikki Cross get into the ring, attacking Alexa Bliss, and hits her finish move, Twisted Chaos or whatever, the swinging neck breaker onto Alexa Bliss off the top turnbuckle onto her, and then Dakota Kai goes for the pin, getting the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Damage Control defeated Alexa Bliss and Asuka and has won back the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. So yeah, I said that they was going to win the match, and that's what happened. Just not in the way that what happened. So yeah, that's what happened. Pretty good stuff. If you have yet, go check it out. For that match and stuff, I'll give it all 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was pretty good stuff. So yeah, that's why I'll give the match and what happened during it and all that stuff. That's why I'll give it. But then after the match, we see Logan Paul and Jake Paul pulling up to the arena, and Byron Saxton goes up to interview Logan Paul about the match he got later on tonight against Roman Reigns. And, Logan Paul said, all it takes is just one lucky punch. So yeah, that's what Logan Paul said. But yeah, that match will be happening later on tonight in the main event. And it looks like up next we're going to be seeing Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in the steel cage match up next at Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Crown Jewel. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Crown Jewel, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett at ringside in a steel cage match. In this match, it was a pretty good match. During this match, at one point, we see Karrion Kross try to escape the steel cage by climbing it, but Drew catches him and suplexes him off the top of the steel cage at one point. Both of them going at it. At one point, Scarlett distracted Drew McIntyre because he was setting up for the Claymore onto Karrion Kross. But while he got distracted, we seen... But yeah, after Drew McIntyre got distracted by Scarlett, that's when Karrion Kross tried to lock on the cross jacket, and then Drew McIntyre fought out of it, and then Karrion Kross managed to hit the cross hammer onto him. But then we see at one point, Karrion Kross try to escape out the door because Scarlett she opened up the door for him and all that stuff. But then actually Drew McIntyre fought back and all that stuff, fighting back against Karrion Kross, hit the Claymore onto him, and then Drew McIntyre was trying to escape from the door. The referee opened up the door, and then that's when Scarlett comes up, spraying mace into McIntyre and the referee's face. And then McIntyre, goes back into the ring because he got sprayed right in the face with the mace. And then Karrion Kross starts laughing, starts crawling, about to crawl out the door, and then that's when McIntyre grabs him and locks on the ankle lock, dragging Karrion Kross back into the ring and stuff. Both of them going back at it multiple times, and then McIntyre was about to exit out the door, but Scarlett was standing right there, and Scarlett locked the door back again, and then that's when Drew McIntyre was like, okay, you can lock the door, I'll just climb. And then McIntyre climbs over the steel cage. Scarlett then opens up the door, try to get Karrion Kross to escape. Karrion Kross is coming so close, but Drew McIntyre jumps off the steel cage outside on the floor, winning the match by escaping. So yeah, Drew McIntyre defeated Karrion Kross in the steel cage match tonight at Crown Jewel. That's what happened. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between those two guys. So yeah, That's why I'll give the match pretty good stuff. Well, actually, I give the match, yeah, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. So, yeah. But then, after that, we see the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman pulling up to the arena. Byron Saxton comes up asking Roman Reigns a question that, what Logan Paul said earlier about it only takes 1 hit to knock him out, and then Roman looks at him and just walks away. Solo Sikoa stands there for a second and walks away, and then Paul Heyman talking about, Logan Paul ain't going to get that 1 hit because Roman Reigns is going to knock him out. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman was saying. But yep, that's what happened there. And up next, we're going to be seeing the Judgment Day versus the OC in the 6-man tag team match up next on Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on WWE Crown Jewel. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Crown Jewel, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson, the OC, versus Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio with Rhea Ripley at ringside. The Judgment Day in the 6-man tag team match. And it was a pretty good 6-man tag team match. Both teams going back and forth and everything else. At one point, there was a cool moment where we see AJ Styles and Finn Balor on the top turnbuckle going at it and stuff. They was just keep on going at it and all that stuff. And Styles trying to fight him back. And then we see, Damian Priest grabbing Carl Anderson, putting him on his shoulders. And then Luke Gallows doing the same thing to Dominic Mysterio. Both of them hit double electric chairs onto them while at the same time with AJ Styles hitting the superplex onto Finn Balor. So yeah, it was pretty cool all at the same time and stuff. But yeah, it looked like the OC was about to pick up the win where we see AJ Styles get on the apron, setting up for the phenomenal forearm. But then we see Dominic Mysterio get into the ring, distracting the referee because he done crawled back into the ring. And then that's when Rhea Ripley grabs AJ Styles onto her shoulders like the electric chair position and drops him face first onto the ring apron while the referee was distracted, throws Styles back into the ring. That's when Balor hits a drop kick onto Styles in the corner, and then Balor climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with the coup de grace onto AJ Styles, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the Judgment Day defeated the OC tonight in the 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. I was going for the Judgment Day to win the match. But yeah, pretty good stuff. That's what happened for that match. I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good 6-man tag team match. Actually, I'll give it 3.5 stars. So yeah, pretty good 6-man tag team match. If you have yet, go check it out. And yeah, Michael Cole in commentary was just funny as hell when he said somebody needs to handle Rhea Ripley's ass and all that stuff. So yeah, funny stuff right there. But yeah, after that we see a nice video package of Seth Rollins and stuff just coming through into WWE and to wrestling itself. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. But up next, we're going to be seeing Braun Strowman versus Omos 101 up next at Crown Jewel. But still to come later on tonight, we will see Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Logan Paul tonight in the main event. Not only that, we will see the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. And I think there's another match. I can't think of it on the top of my head. But, oh yeah, Bianca Belair versus Bayley in the last women's standing match. That match is still to come for the Raw Women's Championship. That's the match I forgot. But yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, up next, Monster versus Monster, Giant versus Giant, up next at Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on WWE Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Crown Jewel, it was a one-on-one match. It was Braun Strowman versus Omos 101. Now, MVP was not at ringside because of what happened on SmackDown and stuff with Braun Strowman taking him out. So yeah, that's why MVP ain't there. But yeah, one-on-one match between Omos and Braun Strowman. And this match wasn't too terrible. We seen Omos actually showing some strength, hitting some scoops, some body slams and stuff onto Braun Strowman, talking junk majority of the match, talking about, oh, this is your monster, huh? This is your monster? He ain't nothing, and stuff like that. Just body slamming him, tossing Braun Strowman around. Strowman not getting a lot of offense in, but then he starts fighting back a little bit, clotheslines Omos over the top rope and stuff. And then at one point he was trying to hit that Strowman Express, pretty much that running shoulder block onto Omos outside the ring, but Omos takes him down and stuff. They get back into the ring. Omos taking control once again. He was trying to hit a splash onto Braun Strowman in the corner, but Strowman moves out the way and Omos hits the turnbuckles, and then Braun Strowman picks him up onto his shoulders, hitting the running power slam onto Omos, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Braun Strowman defeated Omos tonight at Crown Jewel. That's what happened for that match. I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. Definitely not the best match, but it was better than what I thought it was going to be, to tell you the truth. Now, I had a few outcomes in this match, like thinking the ring was going to break or something. Maybe, I don't know. But I doubt that was kind of going to happen, since this was like, what, the fourth match or whatever, 5th match into the pay-per-view. So, yeah, kind of doubt that at that point. And I thought Omos was going to be the one picking up the win, but no, it was Braun Strowman. So, yeah, that was the only thing I got wrong in my predictions for this pay-per-view. But, yeah, that's what happened there. But, yeah, like I said, I give that match 2 stars. And up next, we're going to be seeing the Usos defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against the Brawling Brutes up next at Crown Jewel. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on Crown Jewel. See you guys later. Until then. So, the next thing to happen on Crown Jewel, it was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, versus Ridge Holland and Butch, the Brawling Brutes, for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in a tag team match. This match, it was a pretty good match. Now, I already expected it was going to be a pretty good match. So, yeah, it was going down and everything. Both teams brawling and stuff, going at it multiple times. At one point, like, the Brawling Brutes is going to win the tag team titles. Like, literally right off the start, when we see Butch rolling up Jimmy Uso, almost getting a 3 count, but he kicked out at 2. The Usos at one point said, screw this match. They grabbed the tag titles, about to walk out, go ahead and get count out, but Butch stopped in and all that stuff. And then both teams going at it. At one point, we see Ridge Holland pick up, I think it was Jimmy Uso at one point, and then that's when Butch come in, kicking Jimmy upside the head, and then Ridge laying him out with the power slam, pins him 1, 2, and then Jay breaks up the pin and stuff at the count of 2, and all of them going at it. At one point, we see Butch and Jay Uso in the ring, and then Ridge Holland and Jimmy Uso on the apron, staring each other down, and all of them brawling at the same time, going back and forth. And then Jimmy pushes Ridge Holland back, hits a super kick onto him, hitting a super kick on Ridge Holland, knocking him off the ring apron. Butch was on the top turnbuckle, and then he gets hit with a super kick while he's up there on the top turnbuckle from Jay Uso. Jay Uso climbs up there, picks up Butch. Jimmy Uso's back into the ring waiting for the move, and then Jay Uso comes down with Butch off the top turnbuckle, and then the Usos hit D1, Day 1 onto Butch off the top turnbuckle pretty much, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the Usos defeated the Brawling Brutes tonight in the tag team match and has retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. So yeah, this Friday on SmackDown, it will be the Usos versus the New Day for the tag team titles. But yeah, that's what happened. Really good match. I liked it. For that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's why I'll give it. Really good tag team match. I liked it. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, we got Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships later on tonight in the main event. But up next, it will be the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Bayley 1-on-1 for the Raw Women's Championship in a last woman standing match. That match will be up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on Crown Jewel. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Crown Jewel, it was the WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Bayley 1-on-1 in a last woman standing match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Now it looks like this feud is going to be all over now. Probably so, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. So yeah, we get to the match, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. They used weapons like steel chairs, ladders. They used the steel steps. At one point, we see Bianca getting trapped in between the steel steps and the ring apron, but, she could easily escape because she could go, like, underneath the ring and stuff and come out the other way. Stuff like that. But yeah, it was back and forth and stuff. They used kendo sticks in this match. They go up the ring apron, they go up the stage or whatever, the ramp, and then at one point we see Bayley hitting the Bayley to belly onto Bianca on the stage or whatever, and Bianca barely getting back up by the count of 9. At one point we see Bayley use like a cart or whatever to trap Bianca in, but Bianca busted right out of it, but Bayley could have tried to lock it or climbed on top of it to try to win, but psychology was, I don't know, not using thinking, I guess, but that's what happened right there. At one point they brought in a golf cart, tried to use it, but didn't run each other over like Sammy Guevara pretty much. Then we see Bianca have Bayley on top of the golf cart and drove her down while she's on top of the roof of it. And then they had a table set up, at ringside for a minute. And Bayley was pulling Bianca's hair, but Bianca grabs her and yanks her off the top of the golf cart, making her do a front flip onto the table, but caught her on the edge of the table, and the table did not break. So yeah, I know that had hurt. And then Bianca picks Bayley up and powerbombs her through the table at one point. But Bayley getting back up by the count of 9 to get back into the ring. At one point, Bianca had a pile of steel chairs, laid Bayley onto it, and then had another steel chair and laid a steel chair on top of Bayley. Climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a 450 splash, but Bayley moves out the way, and Bianca crashed and burned onto the pile of steel chairs, getting back up by the count of 9. And then Bianca lifts up Bayley while they had steel chair like set up, like you could sit down on it, pretty much. Bianca picks up Bayley for the KOD and hits the KOD onto Bayley onto that steel chair, pretty much catching her leg or whatever onto the top of the chair. I think it's the same leg that she tore her ACL actually, but yeah, I know that had hurt too. And then there was a pretty cool ending where Bianca traps Bayley in between the ladder, and then pushes the ladder pretty much underneath the bottom turnbuckle so she couldn't lift up and get out of it. Kind of like wedged it, which was pretty cool, and Bayley was trying to escape, but the referee counted to 10. So yeah, Bianca Belair defeated Bayley in the last women's standing match and has retained the WWE Raw Women's Championship. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match. There was some moments where I'm like, Bayley could have won this match a few times if you use your head, could have sat on the crate while Bianca's trapped in it and could have won that way or something. I don't know. But other than that, it was still a pretty good match. I'll give this match 4.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match, though. Still to come later on tonight, we got Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship up against Logan Paul in the main event. But up next, we're going to be seeing Bray Wyatt on Crown Jewel. So yeah, we got to see what he got to say up next on Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Crown Jewel. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on Crown Jewel, Bray Wyatt makes his way down to the ring. And, he starts talking about his pastor and everything. Now, this is, knowledge, if you're, definitely into wrestling or whatever. But for, a common knowledge fan, or whatever, a casual, this is, the first time you find out. Because this is, the first time that ever been mentioned on WWE TV or whatever. With, Bray Wyatt acknowledging that, he came from a wrestling family and all that, because his dad is is IRS, and his brother's Bo Dallas and stuff, and yeah. So his family has been in wrestling for generations or whatever. So yeah, he actually explains that, talking about that actually. So yeah, that's the first time I ever been acknowledged on WWE before, with Bray Wyatt's connection with his family and stuff. But yeah, he starts talking about his past and talking about how that nobody loves him. Everybody just loves the thought about him, but don't love him. He said he don't even love himself, but he's tired of wearing a mask and, talking about all that stuff. But then also he gets interrupted by Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy pops up on the big screen and starts telling Bray Wyatt that he might as well just fall into place, because he already knows that eventually he's going to, just wear that mask once again, so you might as well put it on now and, not worry about anything and destroy and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Uncle Howdy was saying. He's saying you might as well go ahead and throw it on now, because, you're going to do it eventually. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty cool stuff with Bray Wyatt not acknowledging his wrestling history and stuff like that, legacy or whatever. But yeah, that's what he was saying. He's saying that he wanted to be better than the rest of them or whatever, his family. But yeah, that's what he was saying. Pretty cool stuff though, but yeah, hopefully we get to see Bray Wyatt in a match soon and in a feud, and see who Uncle Howdy and the rest of the people are. So yeah, definitely can't wait for that though. Hopefully it'll be soon though. But up next, it will be the main event, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the titles, up next in the main event. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Crown Jewel. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Crown Jewel, it was the main event. It was the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman at ringside versus Logan Paul one-on-one for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in the main event of Crown Jewel. Now, Logan Paul has friends George and Mike at ringside, in the crowd and stuff, but in the first row and stuff by the barricade, which I'll talk about them in a little bit. So yeah, and Jake Paul, he didn't show up until later on, which I'll talk about that as well. So yeah, we get on to the match. It was a little bit slow pace, just filling out in a way, Roman's just dominating a little bit, pushing Jake Paul and all that, and Jake Paul pushing him back and stuff like that. So yeah, just stuff like that, and they're going back and forth, and it was a pretty good match. A few times, Logan looked like he was going to win. At one point, he was he did a buckshot lariat at one point. He was trying to do a super kick, but he gets hit with a Uranagi Sun from Roman. At one point, it Logan was going to win when he punched Roman in the face, and Roman jumps right back up to his feet and then gets hit with a Superman punch from Logan. And then Logan pins him, but Roman barely kicking out at 2. Roman then crawls out the ring. Logan sets him up on the announce table, grabs a phone from his friends, climbed up the top turnbuckle while recording it, and jumps off with the frog splash onto Roman Reigns through the announce table, laying him out. But yeah, after that happened, Logan and Roman was down. And then we see the Usos come out. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. Both of them comes out checking on Roman and stuff. But then, all of a sudden, they throw their attentions to Logan Paul's friends and grabs both of them and throws them over the barricade, just attacking them and stuff. Throw them into the ring. We see Jimmy and Jay laying in some super kicks onto George and Mike, laying them out. But then, all of a sudden, Jake Paul comes walking down with the theme song. Gets in the ring and stuff, and then lays out both Jimmy and Jay with a punch. So yeah, he lays them both out, but then all of a sudden he gets out the ring, and then Solo Sikoa comes walking down. He's getting face to face with Jake Paul, but then a bunch of referees and, officials and stuff had come up and separate both of them so they wouldn't get into it. And then we see Jimmy and Jay behind Jake, about to attack him, but then they turn around and then they get hit with a crossbody by Logan Paul, because Logan Paul jumped over the top rope and stuff onto him. Oh yeah, and then he gets back into the ring. But actually, before that crossbody and stuff, he actually had a frog splash onto Roman again inside the ring. I almost got the 3 count, but Roman kicked out at 2. But then he hit the crossbody onto both of the Usos outside the ring. But as soon as he got back into the ring, he gets hit with a Superman punch by Roman, and then Roman hits a spear onto Logan and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Roman Reigns defeated Logan Paul tonight and has retained the undisputed WWE Universal Championship that's what happened. It was a really good match. Logan Paul did really great, uses amateur wrestling and stuff in this match and all that stuff. So yeah, really good stuff. For this match, I'll give it 4.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a really good match between those two guys. I don't know if this, I think this will probably be match of the night in my opinion, or the last woman standing match. That was pretty good. But this show for Crown Jewel, it was pretty good. This match was good. The main event, the last woman standing match was good. Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre was pretty good. Braun Strowman versus Omos, it was what you expected pretty much, but Braun Strowman picked up the win. The OC versus the Judgment Day was pretty good. Bray Wyatt coming out speaking was just good overall. The women's tag team title match was pretty good. The Usos versus the Brawling Brutes was another good match as well. Go check that one out. And then Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley was a good one as well. So yeah, Crown Jewel for tonight was pretty good. It was a pretty good show. So yeah, for tonight's pay-per-view, I have to give it 9 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good show. But yeah, really good stuff that happened onto it. But yeah, that has been my WWE Crown Jewel 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. They'll all be down there in the description box. And yeah, that has been my Crown Jewel reviews, and I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Until then.